Hello everyone, this is part 1 of What If Naruto Had the Full 9 Tails. This story is made by Rey Oso, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to see more comment down below. An immense wave of killer intent so strong that hundreds of infants and seniors died by the immense pressure felt. Others were paralyzed in fear of the doom while those who found their voice screamed in terror. Yet there were those who were not reacting this way. They were the shinobi of the village hidden in the leaves. These men and women were preparing to face the source of the killer intent, the king of all demons, the nine-tailed fox, the Kyuubi no Yoko. As the demon approached, the shinobi rushed to stop the beast from making it to their home, but their attempts seemed futile. The fox seemed to just brush off all attacks the shinobi could throw at it. Dozens of warriors died off like lambs to the slaughter. Suddenly a blast of smoke erupted between the Nine Tails and the Leaf Village. When the smoke cleared, in its place was an enormous toad almost as large as the demon fox itself. The toad had a sword sheathed on his side, and on top of its head stood 3 men. The youngest, a sized man with a head of wild blonde hair. This man wore a white cloak with orange flames on the bottoms. The next man was the tallest out of the 3 men. He had spiky white hair. He wore a red outfit with a forehead protector with the kanji for oil on it. The last man was by far the eldest, as he was missing hair, and what hair he did have was grey, almost bordering white. He was dressed in a black battle suit. The eldest man also was holding a small bundle of blankets that was concealing a newborn baby. Minato, please reconsider what you're about to do. Jiraiya and I know the jutsu. Let one of us take your place. The eldest man pleaded. Sarutobi, you know why I have to do this. It is my job as Hokage to put my life on the line for this village, not yours. My responsibility is to make sure this village remains safe. Beside, now I won't have to deal with the paperwork. The young blonde, identified as Minato, replied with a weak chuckle. The white-haired man shook his head. Sarutobi-sensei is right, you shouldn't be doing this. You have your whole life ahead of you. We, on the other hand, are aged and past our prime. Let us take your spot. Jiraiya-sensei, I can't let that happen now. Quite, I have to focus. Minato replied before he began a long series of hand signs. Bunter, get us in close on my mark. The giant toad nodded as he went into battle against the Nine Tails. Seeing the toad approach, the shinobi retreated to a safe location. The large toad began to battle the Nine Tails fox while Minato continued his hand signs. Suddenly Minato stopped and shouted, Gamabunta now. The giant toad jumped at the Nine Tails and pierced it in the foot his sword. The fox yelped in pain and used one of its tails to attack Gamabunta, hitting the gigantic toad in the eye. Then suddenly a spectral hand shot from Minato's chest and grew in size until it was larger than a house. The hand then extended until it reached into the Nine Tails' chest. Instantly, to Minato and the Kyuubi, the death god appeared to be reaching through Minato and into the fox's chest. With a hard tug, the death god pulled the Kyuubi's soul and chakra out of its body. Instantly Minato rushed to Sarutobi, who had already opened the blankets to reveal the sleeping baby, pulled out some ink and a pen and began writing on the infant's stomach. Minato then proceeded to copy the same seal onto his own stomach. Once finished, Minato placed a palm on the baby's hand and shouted, seal. The demonic chakra that in the death god's hands went shooting toward the group. It then split in two, with one half seeping into the Naruto's stomach while the other half doing the same with Minato's stomach. It's finished, Minato murmured before he collapsed to his knees. Hand me Naruto. I'd like to hold my son one final time before I die. Sarutobi nodded before handing the baby, who had just woken up, to Minato. The adult blonde smiled gently at his child before kissing him on the forehead. Remember, son, your mother and I always will love you. Minato then handed Naruto to Sarutobi again before he fell on his side with a final breath. Jiraiya shook his head, he was and always will. The man never got to continue, as suddenly the Kyuubi's chakra poured out of Minato's body and began circling Naruto. On reflex, Sarutobi jumped back, but to his surprise Naruto remained in the same spot, floating in a sphere of red chakra. As more chakra seeped out of Minato, the sphere grew until it was the size of a large bedroom, and so thick Naruto wasn't visible, but his cries of pain were still heard. Then chakra stopped seeping out of Minato and the ball stopped growing. Sarutobi and Jiraiya watched as ball began to seep into Naruto and his cries increased. Within a few moments all the chakra had seeped into the infant and he fell but was caught by Jiraiya before he could land on Gamabunta's head. What happened? Sarutobi asked with a slight tremor of fear his voice. Jiraiya examined the baby to find that the only thing changed about Naruto was he had 3 marks on each that resembled whiskers. I'm not sure when Minato explained it, this shouldn't have happened. Now Naruto has all of Kyuubi's chakra sealed into him instead of half. Jiraiya said with a sigh. Sarutobi-sensei, we can't tell anybody about this. You're right, but now I have to explain this to the council. I fear life won't be easy for little Naruto if the results of the meeting are bad enough. Sarutobi said as his face became sullen. Sarutobi entered the council chamber with Naruto in his arms and immediately noticed that every spot was aging. Man then began his mental check. Let's see, Shibi Aburame, Chusa Akamaiki, Hyashi Hyuga. Strange, why is Ashi's wife here? Anyways, Shikaku Nara is sleeping, Fugaku Uchiha, and Inoiki Yamanaka. Danzu, Homura, and Koharu are here as well. Finally the civilian council. Well, here goes nothing. Silence. Sarutobi shouted. For the last hour after explaining the events of the Kyuubi battle, the sealing of the demon inside Naruto, and Minato's death, Sarutobi had put up with the civilian council demanding Naruto's death, and was he finally fed up? Naruto won't be killed because you all hold a grudge against the Kyuubi. Most of you forget that the Yondaime was something of an expert when it came to sealing. I believe his method of handling the fox will be efficient. Based on your reactions, this information has become an S-class secret. Any who tell of Naruto's status as a Jinchuriki will be sentenced to death. Now, unless anybody has anything to say, let's continue. For a moment it appeared as if the civilian council would continue, but a blast of killer intent that, even unnerved the clan heads in the room, silenced any remarks the civilians had. Now then, the next matter of business will be, what is to become of young Naruto? Usually he, like the other parentless children, would go to an orphanage, but Naruto's situation is too delicate for that. Any suggestions? Sarutobi asked. Lord Hokage, with the Uchiha, one of the more powerful clans in the village, I think it would be best if we adopt the child, that way can handle the boy if something happens. A well-built man stated from his seat. I like that idea, Fugaku-san, but I think have somebody better suited to handling Naruto, in case the fox takes over. Sarutobi replied. As you all know, the Shodai had the special ability to control wood. This in turn allowed him to control the tailed beast. A young man by the name of Tenzu was the unfortunate subject of Orochimaru's experiments, these dealing with the Shodai's DNA. After Orochimaru left, he assumed every one of his test subjects had died, but that was not the case. Tenzu lived and has the abilities of the Shodai. I think it would be best if he was made the boy's guardian. Are there any opposed to this? Sarutobi asked. He waited for somebody to say something, but when nobody responded, he nodded. Okay, this meeting is adjourned. Sarutobi then exited the council room and went to his office. Arriving at his office, Sarutobi sighed. Dog, go find me cat. Tell him this is a matter of utmost importance. A chuckle was heard before a gust of wind filled the room. Damn it. Kakashi's always listening in on the council meetings. If the boy was a gossip, the village's secrets would be all but open to the public. Sarutobi thought with a sigh. A few moments later, a swirl of leaves appeared and an Anbu stood at attention. Our cat, you can take off your mask and get comfortable, we might be here for a while. The Anbu nodded, took off his mask before sitting in a chair. You needed me, Hokage-sama? The Anbu asked. Yes, Tenzu, I have a favor to ask of you. Tenzu motioned for the Sarutobi to continue. I would like you to adopt the baby. Sarutobi finished gesturing to a crib where Naruto was sleeping peacefully. Tenzu immediately shot out of his chair and began voicing his opinion. What? Why? Hokage-sama, surely somebody else is better suited for the job. How? Tenzu, I wouldn't have asked you to do this if I didn't have my reasons. Now calm down so I can explain. Sarutobi replied, interrupting Tenzu's rant. The Anbu nodded before seating back in his chair. Now what I'm about to tell you is an S-class secret. Little Naruto here is no ordinary orphan. This baby is the sole reason this village is still standing. Naruto here is the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. To Sarutobi's surprise, Tenzu didn't seem surprised in the slightest, he simply nodded. I see with me ability to control demons just like the Shodai Hokage you want me to make sure in the fox ever takes over that I'm there to control it, right? Sarutobi simply nodded. Alright, on to conditions. First, Naruto's living expenses will be covered, and second, under no circumstances will I be ordered to kill the boy. Sarutobi smirked. You drive a hard bargain, but you have a deal, Tenzu. One more thing, call me Yamato. Tenzu just has too many bad memories. Tenzu added, suppressing a shiver. Of course, Yamato. I completely understand. Sarutobi replied with a solemn expression. 5 years later, Yamato ni-san. Small blonde called out as he walked into the living room. Yes, Naruto. Yamato answered. Naruto walked up to Yamato before replying. I'm bored, what is there to do today? Yamato sighed. Naruto, it's late, the sun is down, shouldn't you be asleep anyway? I can't sleep, I'm not tired. Naruto replied with a huff. Fine, watch TV, I'm going to bed. Yamato said before tossing the remote at Naruto, hitting him in the head. Hey. Yamato chuckled as he walked out of the room. Naruto waited until he could hear Yamato distinct snoring before, as silently as he could, snuck outside. Finally, I thought he would never fall, go to bed now, I have to hurry before Ichiraku's closes. Naruto whispered to nobody in general before taking off to his favorite ramen stand. Just down this block, ramen here I company. Suddenly a shuriken passed by, Naruto barely missing. What the? Hey demon, we're here to finally put an end to you. A voice called out, followed by a wave of cheers. Naruto turned to see large mob of villagers behind, all armed in some way. What do you mean? Naruto asked, his body trembling in fear. Exactly what we said, we're to finish what the Yondaime started. You're going to die today, demon. Another voice called out. Before Naruto had time to respond, a kunai shot out of the crowd and hit him in the leg. Ahhhh. Naruto screamed, but this only seemed to excite the crowd. Then a large man ran out of the group and charged Naruto. He was wielding a rusted sword and he swung it wildly as he ran. As he got close, he took a wide swing at Naruto. Reacting on instinct, Naruto jumped back to avoid the strike. This move prevented Naruto be sliced in half, but the young child still got a deep gash along his chest. Naruto covered the wound with his arm and bit back a scream. Not ending his assault, the man kicked Naruto in the face, sending him crashing into a nearby dumpster. Naruto gasped upon hitting the dumpster due to the wind be knocked out of him. Naruto then saw another man charge at him holding a spiked club in one hand. Naruto, realizing this was the end of him, closed his eyes and awaited the blow, only for it not to come. Naruto opened his eyes to see he was no longer on the streets of Konoha but in a dank sewer. Come here, child. A voice bellowed in the distance. I might as well, it might be a way out. With thought in mind, Naruto started off in the direction of the voice. Moments later, he walked into a room with an enormous cell door on one end. Suddenly, two blood-red eyes appeared inside the cell. Child, they are going to kill you. The voice bellowed from inside the cell. Naruto nodded slowly. Yeah, but there's nothing I can do about. No, there is something, you allow me to protect you. Together we can destroy those foolish humans. The voice shouted, causing Naruto to step back. Why would you help me? Naruto questioned, suspicious of the voice. I have no reason to lie to you, so the reason is I am the Kyuubi no Yoko, king of the demons. If my death was caused by pathetic mortals, I would be considered pitiful among other demons. Besides that, I believe these humans are foolish to believe you are me, and it would be my pleasure to aid you in exterminate all of them. Kyuubi replied with a dark chuckle at the end. Naruto gasped at Kyuubi's answer before he said, I don't want to kill them. Why don't you want to kill them, the humans? They find joy in your pain and would love to see you die. Take my power, kill the humans, it is the only way to keep your existence in this world. Kyuubi replied, cutting him off. No, I'll earn their respect somehow. Naruto said, his voice trembling. Listen to yourself, even you don't believe what you're saying. Why do you want their respect? Those pitiful life forms don't deserve to live, let alone the blood, sweat, and tears you would shed to try and reach such an impossible goal. Kyuubi retorted. His words finally snapped something in Naruto because the blonde finally broke down in tears. Yuri. Right, they deserve to die, help them. Help me kill them. Naruto shouted through his tears. The moment Naruto said that, 9 foxtails shot through the cage and gently wrapped around Naruto. Don't worry, I will, from now on I will always be here for you. Kyuubi answered, a dark smirk appearing in the cage. Naruto opened his eyes to see the man with the club right in front of his, to see the man with the spiked club right in front of him. The man was in almost a foot away when a red semi-translucent tail-like object blocked the strike. The tail then wrapped around the man, stunning everybody. "Let me go, you demon!" the trapped man shouted. "Child, how would you like to kill that man?" Kyuubi's voice rang inside Naruto's head. "The same way he would have killed me," Naruto replied. Instantly a spiked club, made of the same material as the tail wrapped around the man, formed on Naruto's arm. Naruto swung the club at the man's head, knocking it off in one fluid motion. A sadistic smile formed on Naruto's face as he saw blood shoot out the man's neck like a fountain. The mob of civilians that had witnessed the entire scene were shocked. This was the first time the boy had retaliated against their attacks. Before they could react, an enormous hand of the red material shot above them and slammed down, crushing a vast majority of people there. The remaining few tried to escape the massacre, only for multiple tails to shoot out of the ground and impale the remaining people. Naruto looked around at the carnage and chuckled. His chuckle soon evolved into a full-out explosion of laughter. After the boy calmed down, he looked at his clothes to see them drenched in blood make the white shirt he had look like a dark red. "I like the colors. I'll see if Yamato-ni-san will take me clothes shopping anytime soon." With that thought, Naruto walked home. Naruto opened the door to his apartment to see that everything there was the same as he left it. The TV was still on, and as far as he could tell, Yamato was still asleep. "I should shower and go to sleep," Naruto thought as he walked into his room. Finding a pair of black pajamas, Naruto walked into his bathroom to clean himself up. A few minutes later, the young blonde walked out of the bathroom with all traces of the massacre he participated in gone. With a heavy yawn, Naruto collapsed onto his bed and closed his eyes, only to find himself staring at the cage that held the Kyuubi. Naruto then glanced around the room and realized it was filthy. "Why does my mind look like a sewer?" Kyuubi's blood-red eyes appeared behind the door at the door and chuckled. "If you have a problem with it, change it, boy. This is your mind, and being someplace beside a sewer would be nice," Kyuubi replied in a bored tone. Naruto nodded before focusing on changing the environment of his mind. Moments later, the sewer was transformed into a forest. "A forest, how creative," Kyuubi mumbled with a sigh. Naruto glared but said nothing. "Oh. Okay, enough of the idle chat. I brought you here for a reason. You need to learn how to control my chakra and be able to defend yourself without it," Kyuubi said, turning to Naruto. "You will by no means become dependent on me. Just the thought disgusts me." "Why?" Naruto asked, a bit stunned at Kyuubi's statement. "Boy, you would be little more than a leech. I will make it so you can kill any fool under your own power. Then with my power you will be just short of a god," Kyuubi replied. "But how will you teach me? You're an animal and I'm a person," Naruto stated. The Kyuubi's form was engulfed in red chakra. Moments later, the chakra faded, and standing in the place was a muscular man who was almost twice as tall as Naruto. The man had short red hair that was finely kept. The man wore a red cloak, and flowing behind him were 9 red fox tails. "When we reach that portion of you training, this is how I will train you." An explosion of the red chakra later, Kyuubi had returned to his enormous fox form. "Now you first learn how to draw upon my chakra in an instant and form weapons from it. You need not worry about using it as defense, I will always handle that," Kyuubi said. "How do I draw out you chakra?" Naruto asked. The Kyuubi paused and pondered how to phrase it so the young child will understand. Finally satisfied with an answer, Kyuubi replied, "Simply envision the seal on you and then draw out the chakra. As you progress you will be able to draw it out on a whim." Naruto nodded, and for the rest of the night Naruto worked on drawing out Kyuubi's chakra, then increasing the speed he could do it. Yamato woke with a jolt. Being part of Anbu had increased his senses quite a bit, and the moment he slipped into conciseness he knew the coppery scent in the air could be only one thing: blood. Rushing out of his room, Yamato sprinted to where the smell was thickest. His fear increased tenfold when the smell led to Naruto's room and the door was shut. Yamato slammed the door open to find Naruto sleeping peacefully on his bed. With a sigh of relief, Yamato walked out the room, not caring where the smell had come from. Had the former Anbu took a closer look at Naruto, he would have noticed that every so often the distinct whisker marks on his cheeks darkened before returning to normal. Naruto woke up almost an hour later. He walked in the living room and saw Yamato sitting at the table and drinking a cup of coffee. Yamato glanced up before pointing to the counter behind him where a plate of food was at, still steaming, showing it was hot. Naruto grabbed the plate and placed it on the table. The boy then walked over to a cabinet and pulled out a pair of chopsticks. Yamato watched as Naruto ate his food. It wasn't hard to realize something was off. First was the way he ate. Usually Naruto consumed his food in breaths, but now he was eating his food at a normal speed. Second, the way was acting. Yamato loved the boy like he was his real brother, but Naruto's hyperactive attitude sometimes even pushed Yamato to the limit. Right now the boy hadn't spoken one word at all and hadn't even twitched in any indication of his bubbly personality. Finally his face was the real warning bell. Naruto always had a smile on his, whether be the fake one he put on for the villages or the true smiles he had whenever he and Yamato did something like going to Ichiraku's ramen stand or when Yamato got him a gift of some kind. Naruto's face now resembled that of one of Danzu's root Anbu. The lack of emotion almost gave Yamato the chills. Deciding now was not the time to probe for answer, Yamato decided to make small talk. So Naruto, what do you want to do today? Yamato asked. Naruto shrugged before he replied, going to get some new clothes would be useful. Yamato couldn't hold back the shiver caused from Naruto's cold emotion voice. Geez, right now he could give the Hyuga a run for their money. We can do that. Is there anything specific you want? Yamato asked. Anything red will do fine. Also durable. Naruto replied. Alright, let's go. Yamato said. Naruto and Yamato walked in silence to the market district of Konoha. When they arrived, Yamato headed to the nearest clothing shop, but Naruto pointed to a shinobi gear shop. Why there, your career as a ninja won't be starting for a few years when you reach the academy. Naruto shrugged, might as well get ready now. Yamato nodded at the response before the two walked in. Yamato then turned to Naruto and said, get a few of whatever you buy, I'm going to check out some stuff out. Naruto nodded before walking over to the clothing section. The first thing to catch Naruto's eye were some black cargo pants that had red pockets. Naruto smirked as he noticed the red was the exact shade of the blood from last night. Naruto picked up 7 pairs so he would have one for each day of the week. Naruto then continued his shopping until he came across a sleeveless hoodie. It was black with the lower half blood red and blood red stripes going down the side that turned black when they met the red half. The hood itself was just a simple jet black. When Naruto opened it up, he saw the jacket had multiple pockets on the inside meant to hold concealed weapons. Naruto tried the jacket on and walked over to a mirror. Naruto looked at his appearance and nodded. Then an idea popped into the boy's head. Naruto put on his hood till his entire face was covered in shadow. Naruto then drew out some Kyuubi's chakra. Naruto smirked at his appearance in the mirror. In the shadow under his hood, the only things visible were 2 slitted blood-red eyes. Now that is cool. Naruto mumbled to himself. Satisfied with the jacket, Naruto went and picked up 6 more. Naruto then picked up 12 black form-fitting t-shirts. Naruto then walked over to Yamato with the big pile of clothes in his arms. It seems you got everything you need. I'll go take these up front to pay for them while you go look around for anything more. Yamato replied before he pulled out a credit card and smirked. Thank you, Hokage-sama. Naruto handed Yamato all the clothes before walking over to the weapons section. I really don't need a weapon. Kyuubi's chakra can form into any weapon I want. Naruto thought. Thinking like that will only make you weak, boy. It would be best to get a weapon so you have a backup in case my chakra is not available to you, or just so you have something to be your signature on the battlefield. Kyuubi voice retorted in Naruto's head. Alright. Naruto thought. With that, the young boy looked around for a weapon that he liked. Katana, nope, to generic. Spear, nope, not really something that would intimidate enemies. Bow and arrows, him maybe. Now what do we have here? Naruto then picked up a pair of jet black trench knives. Sliding his fingers into place, Naruto smirked. Now these feel right. Channel my chakra into them. Kyuubi said. Naruto nodded before doing as the Kyuubi told. For a moment nothing happened, then the trench started to glow red before each blade grew an extension of red chakra around 2 feet long. Naruto then let the chakra drop. Naruto then decided to do the same with his own chakra, and for a long time nothing happened. Naruto sighed and assumed his chakra had no effect on the blades, but when Naruto moved his arm, a slice appeared in on the shelf all the weapons were on. So you have wind for your affinity, interesting. Naruto turned around to see Yamato standing there holding 2 bags with his clothes and a large box in his other hand. It appears you would like those blades too. Naruto gave a nod and Yamato chuckled. You seem to be wanting to start your ninja career early. I can understand. I got out of the academy early. I guess that my little brother is growing up. Here, let me go pay for your trench blades so we can go. Naruto nodded and handed Yamato the blades. Hokage-sama, we have something urgent to report. An Anbu shouted as he suddenly appeared in Sarutobi's office. The aged Hokage face became grim. If this was something that had his best soldiers in such a state, then you could not be good. What is it, Weasel? Sarutobi asked. While Hare and I were doing our morning sweep, we reached the edge of the residential district and came upon the sight of multiple dead bodies. Sarutobi visibly paled. For something like this to happen, security was slipping. Upon closer inspection, several were impaled through the chest. A dozen more were flattened against the street and one man was decapitated, and when Hare found his head in had multiple punctures in one side. Is there any way to trace back the culprit to the offense? Sarutobi asked. Weasel nodded. When I activated my Sharingan, there was chakra residue all over the area, red chakra. The moment Weasel said that, Sarutobi's world froze as he came to the conclusion. Naruto, Sarutobi whispered. Weasel, get me Yamato as soon as possible. This an emergency. Sarutobi commanded, and with that the Anbu was gone. Yamato, what's in the box? Naruto asked, his tone lacking any enthusiasm. Yamato paused before opening up the box to reveal a pair of wrist braces, a pair of shin guards, and one sleeveless chainmail shirt. Armor, Naruto stated. Sort of, kid. While these are used for armor, in reality these are weight. Yamato handed Naruto the bags of clothing before flipping one of wrist braces over to show a small seal on the underside. That little seal adjusts the weight depending on your chakra levels. If you need to drop the weight, you just pump a little chakra into the seals on the armor. Yamato snapped his finger and chuckled. That reminds me, the owner wanted me to tell you that all the clothes in his store are unique. By channeling chakra into them, they adjust size to fit you. Dry if wet, or add a constant flow chakra, they produce heat to keep you warm on a colder mission. Also, this isn't always used due to the chakra required, but if you add a lot, they repair damage done to them. Naruto nodded. That makes sense. Upon reaching the house, Yamato opened the door only to be stopped by an Anbu. Hokage-sama requests you presence immediately. Yamato nodded while turning to Naruto. Make yourself some instant ramen to snack on. I'll be home as soon as possible. With that said, Yamato and the Anbu disappeared. Sarutobi sighed as Yamato and Weasel both appeared in the room. This conversation would not be easy. Thank you, Weasel, you are dismissed. Sarutobi paused as the Anbu exited the room. Yamato, some drastic news has been reported to me concerning Naruto. It seems that last night Naruto killed multiple civilians using the Kyuubi's chakra. Now, while I doubt the boy did this unjustly, that doesn't mean the situation can be dismissed. You're right, Hokage-sama, but what do you intend to do about? Yamato asked. There will be a council meeting to discuss the incident later on today. In all honesty, I expect them to have me revoke the law about Naruto's status as a Jinchuriki, if not demand the boy's death. While I can convince them to let the boy live, I will probably have to compromise and remove the law. You want me to stop him, don't you, Hokage-sama? You want me to kill him if he kills again, don't you? The aged ninja sighed. I thought so. In all honesty, if Naruto was attacked and killed those people in self-defense, I can't punish, and if he's attacked and kills his attackers, I won't be aiding them. Sarutobi glared and stood from his chair. You forget your place, soldier. If I tell you to stop the boy attacks, you will do such. Yamato met Sarutobi's glare with one of his own. With all due respect, Hokage-sama, I can't in good conscience hurt my little brother for defending himself. If he attacks first, I'll handle him, but unless that occurs, the fools in this village will receive no help from me. They created their own monster and it's their problem. Good afternoon, sir. With that said, Yamato exited the office, slamming the door as he left. Sarutobi slumped back into his chair. Things in the village have just made a horrible turn for the worse. I'm sorry, Minato, I failed to save your son, and now he's started on a path to become the thing that you tried to save this village from. The village council sat patiently as the third Hokage entered the room with a sullen expression on his face. Many had been surprised when their leader had called for an unexpected meeting. Now they waited to hear what had brought out this summoning. Council members, I brought you here to address an incident that occurred last night. 15-year-old Naruto Uzumaki was attacked by a mob of villagers for unknown reason. In self-defense, the boy unleashed some of the Kyuubi's chakra to brutally massacre his attackers. Sarutobi said while gauging the reaction of the council's reaction. He was unsurprised when the civilian members immediately began calling for the boy's death, but to his shock a majority of the clan heads also demanded the boy be executed. In fact, the only people not demanding the boy be killed were the Aburame, Hyuga, Nara, Akamaiki, and Yamanaka. Even Danzu and his old teammates wanted Naruto finished. Enough. Naruto won't be killed due for several reasons. Sarutobi stated, angering a vast majority of the council. What reasons do you have to keep it alive after the beast has showed its true colors? Minazuka shouted. First, the boy will be an extremely valuable asset to the ninja force once trained. Second, his actions were in self-defense. And finally, the only single person capable of killing Naruto refuses to do so. I also remember part of our deal was that Yamato would not be required to kill Naruto. Sarutobi replied, thinking the last part. Well, if that is the case, your law regarding it should be nullified. If for nothing else, it will protect our children from the demon. A tall member of the civilian council demanded. Sarutobi cringed. The fact that everybody seemed intent referring Naruto as demon and beast, and the fact that he had been dead on in his assumption, was slightly unsettling, even for him. Fine, my law will from this point on is nullified. Naruto's status as Jinchuriki, from this point on, is open to the public. Meeting dismissed. Naruto looked at the mirror. With his new outfit on, he was pretty intimidating. The boy glared at the mirror and drew out some Kyuubi's chakra. Now if they want to call me a demon, I can show them a demon. Naruto mumbled to himself. Naruto looked at the weights in the box. Might as well. Naruto then proceeded to take off his shirt and jacket and put on the chainmail shirt. Replacing his shirt and jacket, Naruto added his wrist braces and shin guards. For a moment the boy thought they were defective, but then his body almost collapsed at the sudden weight added to his person. Wow, it feels like somebody dropped a ton on me. Well, the weights tend to increase while you sleep, because that is when chakra is recovered and capacity is increased. So this is the only time you'll feel such an increase in weight during waking times. Also, don't ever take those weights off. It's more effective that way. Yamato said, coming into view behind Naruto. Naruto nodded and Yamato both walked into the living room. Naruto, there is something I need to ask you. Naruto nodded, so Yamato continued. What happened last night with the mob? I killed them and I know about the Kyuubi. Naruto replied, simply leaving Yamato shocked. The boy had just answered the question like they were talking something like the weather. Yamato paused for a moment longer to collect himself before continuing. Well, there was a law preventing people to talk about you and the Kyuubi. Because of murder incident, that law about talking about you being a host will be dropped. Now making friends will be near impossible. I don't have friends now. I doubt I will need or want them, so can we just start training? Naruto answered. Yamato nodded hesitantly. Naruto, why couldn't I have been there to protect him? Then none of this mess would have ever happened. Alright, it's kind of late. I will start you off with taijutsu and physical training. Every morning I want you to sprint 5 laps around the village. Once you're finished, I want you to do 100 push-ups, 200 sit-ups, and 200 squats. Once you finish that, we will work on the taijutsu form in this scroll. Right, start your laps. Yamato said as he pointed at a path frequently used by taijutsu experts to run around the entire village. Naruto nodded before taking off down the path. Naruto sighed, these stupid weights make this impossible. The young blonde was only in his second lap and it had taken him a couple of hours already. In fact, the blonde was so immersed in his mental ranting he didn't notice the person walking in his path him until he ran into them. Though with Naruto's greater speed, the collision resulted in the Naruto to fall on top of the person. Naruto brought from his shocked look to see he was currently on top of a girl around his age with lavender eyes that had no visible pupils. Naruto was about to say something when a voice shouted out, the demons attacking the Hyuga heiress. Within moments the two children were surrounded by mobs so large that Naruto was surprised he didn't notice all the people in the area. Getting up slowly, Naruto glanced around him to see how many people there were. Leave me alone, he growled. His voice caused a few people to back off, but a man with two triangles under his eyes smirked. The fox has finally grown a little backbone. That's interesting, but I hate to inform you I'm one of the best chunin of Inuzuka, so you're going to die, demon brat. The crowd cheered for the man's threat and he smirked. Now demon, die. The man shouted, throwing a handful of kunai and shuriken at Naruto. Suddenly tails of Kyuubi's chakra shot from Naruto's lower back and blocked all the projectiles, leaving a stunned crowd. I warned you, Naruto said with a sadistic grin painted on his face. Naruto shot his arm forward and a chakra arm extended out, capturing the stunned ninja. Now fool, die. Naruto closed his hand, causing the chakra extension to mimic him. The group looked to see a puff of smoke and Naruto chakra hand enclosed around a crushed log. Cheap trick, come face me like a man. Naruto growled. Suddenly one of the tails shot to the left of Naruto. The young blonde looked to see the tail was blocking a kunai that was posed to strike him in the skull. The Inuzuka Chunin gaped at the red appendage blocking his weapon while Naruto frowned. You're boring. The man glared and was about to respond when suddenly the distinct sound of flesh being pierced echoed through the area. The man looked down to see one of the chakra tails sticking out of his chest. The tail then ripped upwards, splitting the man's neck and head in half. Naruto then glanced around at the rest of the group before he smirked, who's next? Not giving anybody a chance to reply, Naruto swept his chakra arms out, knocking a chunk of the crowd into the distance. The young blonde then slammed his chakra arms into the ground, creating a mini earthquake, causing the people to lose their balance. Naruto then brought his chakra arms in and formed them into blades. Before anybody could recover, Naruto spun rapidly while the arms extended and slicing people apart as he spun. Within a couple of seconds, every civilian was dead and sliced into pieces. The only people currently standing were a few ninja who had managed to avoid the attack and Naruto. One of the ninja glared at Naruto when suddenly his eyes turned crimson with 2 tomo inside each. Kid, you may have been able to take out that Inuzuka and some civilian, but now you're dealing the elite in this village. Not even you can stand the might of the Uchiha demon. Naruto glared before shooting a hand at the man. His chakra hand's fingers then extended and converged on the Uchiha from different angles. The Uchiha then jumped into the air while dodging the fingers. Some elite, Naruto mumbled before making the fingers of chakra close on the man. The boy glared when all his crushed was log. You guys don't seem to have a lot of variety. Then seemingly proven him right, one of the chakra tails shot to the left of his head. Naruto sighed and looked to his left only to see the man with his chest expanded while he was inhaling. The man exhaled and a large ball of flame directly in Naruto's face. The man jumped back as smoke covered the area. And the demon finally dies, and by my hand. The Uchiha shouted. No, not quite, but I am kind of ticked. You could have singed my clothes. The Uchiha froze as he listened to the voice coming directly behind him. Turning slowly, the man almost pissed himself when he saw Naruto staring directly behind, not even showing signs of being touched by his jutsu. What happened to the arrogant elite? Now all I smell is a pathetic little man. Not given the man time to reply, Naruto thrust one of his chakra arms through the man's stomach. The man gasped, but in one act of desperation strung through a short series of hand signs before expelling another fireball through his mouth. The Uchiha male let loose a gasp when the smoke cleared and one of the chakra tails had extended and completely wrapped the young blonde. What made you think doing it a second time would increase the chances of success? Naruto replied. Naruto ripped his chakra arm out of the man's chest, taking a few organs with him, and watched as the man crumpled to the ground. Naruto then stopped when he noticed there were several men just staring, paralyzed in fear. Oh my goodness, where are my manners? How could I forget about all of you? Sorry, let me make amends. Naruto stated in mock embarrassment. Naruto then made the chakra tails plunge into the ground. 2 of the men were too shocked to move as the tails emerged from the ground and plunged into their skulls, but the final man ducked and jumped back to avoid the deadly tail. Hey demon, just let me live. I promise I will never attack you again. The man begged as he backed away from Naruto. Would you have let me live if I couldn't defend myself? Naruto asked with a glare. The man opened his mouth but nothing coherent came out. I didn't think so. The man panicked and began looking around frantically, but Naruto was nowhere to be found. The man sighed in relief and began walking away. Then before he could take 5 steps, he grasped his throat as it began to bleed out profusely. Standing right next to the man was Naruto as he was admiring his trench knives. These babies are just too nice. Naruto murmured to himself as the man fell over. Sighing in contentment, Naruto wiped the blood off his blade with a clean patch of the man's shirt. Naruto started to walk back home when he stepped on something that made a soft grunt. Looking down, Naruto noticed it was the person who he had ran into earlier. Hey, get up, it's over. Naruto said in a dead voice. The little girl slowly got up and looked at Naruto in from what he could tell fear and awe. Why you kill all those people? She asked, her body trembling as badly as her voice. They would have killed me. Naruto replied plainly. Why? The girl asked. I'm only a monster that they believe needs to be killed. Naruto answered. Why you don't look like a monster? The girl responded. Naruto looked her in the eye before drawing some of Kyuubi's make his eye glow red and turning his pupils into vertical slits. The girl tilted her to the side while looking at Naruto's eyes in interest. They said you're a monster because you have kitty eyes. The girl asked, confused. No, they're not kitty eyes. They're fox eyes, the nine-tails fox's eyes. I have it sealed inside me and everybody blames me for the people it killed. Naruto replied. Did you kill those people? The girl asked. Naruto just shook his head. Then why do they blame you? Naruto was about to respond when he found he didn't have an answer. Then Kyuubi's hearty laughter bellowed in his head. Leave to a child to realize something a vast majority of your village couldn't, the demon bellowed through his chuckling. Well, I should be going. Naruto said as he began to walk away. Wait, what's your name? The girl asked. Naruto didn't even stop. I'm Hinata. Naruto paused. Naruto, he said before continued to walk on. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.